So today I want to talk about compromise, and more importantly, why you should not compromise, especially when it comes to your most core values and why you're doing what you're doing. A couple weeks ago, I talked about why you need to be different and better, not just better. You have to be different on some dimension. And I think compromise is the biggest reason that people don't. When you're building something, a lot of the feedback that you're going to get from others when you show it to them is going to be, why'd you do it this way? I'm more used to this. Maybe this would be better. And if you listen to that, or if you heed that advice, you'll just end up with the same product that's already been built, because that's what they're used to. That's what they're recommending. And so unless that person also has some deep foresight in terms of what will work, it's best to stick to what you actually believe in. This doesn't mean being stubbornly resistant. And I understand it's a fine line and you can only really tell in the moment, but you have to stick to that core ideal. Find different ways around that. If you're working on an app, try different features to get to your end goal. Try different layouts, setups, user flows, what have you. But don't give up on the end goal just to kind of appease the masses in the short run. If a lot of people like it in the short run, that's not as valuable as a few people being obsessed with it. Because if eventually those few people will grow to more and more and more, and you want a user base that's really obsessed. And so don't compromise. Stick to what you believe in. Those differences you want to accentuate. For example, we're having the leaderboard. We're having no text comments on the app. We're having a restricted feedback system where you can't just like everything. For example, you have to earn your likes in order to be able to give them away. These are all choices that may or may not work, but I'm leaning into them. I'm saying that this is what we're gonna be about, and I'm betting that enough people see things the same way, or will come to see things the same way, for this to be effective on a mass scale. So don't compromise, stick to your ideals, and I think that's what will pay the most dividends over time. So what did I work on this week? The first is phone number authentication. So getting that set up at the beginning of sign up. I've found that a lot of the test users so far are forgetting their passwords. And so I don't want to make something based on a password. It should just be a phone number verification. If that's verified, they'll be able to log in. And yeah, I think it makes it simpler. And again, you avoid the issue of having to have a forgot password flow and all that, even though I already set that up as well. The second thing that I did is add in, we'll call it subscriber subscribed, although it could be follower following. Haven't actually finalized the terminology yet, but basically some sort of way to keep track of people that you are really interested in. So you can see their clips, you can see what they're up to. And yeah, just a way to build greater connection within the app. Rather than just having kind of this blob of people, you have your direct connections, and that kind of makes your experience unique. Yeah, that was this week. What am I going to work on next week? It all comes down to database and backend. So I'm going to be working on kind of improving the security of the backend, cleaning up any issues with it. It's actually pretty well done for the scale that we're at right now. But just kind of taking a deeper look at that, I want to kind of flesh that out. I've been spending a lot of time on the front end because that needed more work. So now I'm going to shift my attention to making sure that back end is up to speed. I'll throw a wild card in there as well if anything does come up, but I imagine most of my time is going to be on improving the back end. As always, like, subscribe, talk to you guys next week.